What's up, guys? All right, so quick taper video. And just remember, this is not medical advice. Everybody's a little different. I don't know your situation, so I'm not saying this is what you should do. I'm just giving out information on how I've approached this with other patients, and maybe something you can talk to your doctor about if you think you're at the point in your recovery that you could taper off Suboxone, right? And remember, not everybody needs to be tapering. Not everybody has to or should be, okay? So, got that out of the way. Let's talk. So, let's say you've gotten to a low dose, like maybe you're at, you're breaking up some strips or tablets into 1 milligram strip or tablets. And a lot of folks will just then break it into pieces and take just a very small amount over several days. So like, let's say maybe a 1 milligram would last you 3 days. So you're basically taking like 0.33 milligrams every day. And maybe you're thinking, okay, can I jump off at this point? Can I stop? Have I gotten low enough? Well, an easy way to determine this is just not take it the next day. But don't wait until you're out of medicines to try this approach, okay? So what you do is you don't take it the next day. So if you're taking it every 24 hours, the next day you don't take it that morning, and you see how you feel. Maybe by that afternoon or that night, you need to take your dose again. And so you don't have to necessarily try to take a lower dose at that point. You can just take the same amount and just write it down what time it was. So maybe it was 36 hours from your previous dose. Well, if that's the case, I would just kind of dose it every 36 hours, you know, for a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, or just a few days, and then try to spread out to every 48 hours. Now, if you're having significant withdrawal, which I don't think you will if you've gotten to that low of a dose, you'll be able to figure out exactly when you need to take your dose, right? And you probably, you know, you might need to push it an hour or two. So maybe you start to feel withdrawal, you're starting to get anxious and antsy. Write it down. Maybe if it's not time for your dose, you might want to push it. You know, you can fight through that because it's not going to be severe, right? But if you're having withdrawal at 36 hours, then you're probably not ready to just completely jump off of it if your goal is to stop Suboxone with minimal withdrawal, okay? So that's the whole point of this, all right? So yes, obviously anybody can stop it, go through withdrawal, whatever, but that sucks. But we're talking about tapering off with minimal withdrawal. So what you're doing is you're figuring out when you start to have withdrawal symptoms, and you're then pushing that point further and further, okay? So just think about that. If you're really low dose, you're thinking about jumping off, it's not, you have other options. You don't have to just stop it or not stop it. You can push your dose out instead of every 24 to every 36, and then maybe to every 48, and even to every 72 hours. And don't consider it a failure if you're having to dose at 36, 48, 72 hours. It's not a failure. You're just changing your dosing window. And so you're still tapering down by doing that, okay? So at some point, you don't necessarily have to get to a lower daily dose. You just need to take your daily dose and make that your 36-hour dose. Then make that your 48-hour dose, etc., okay? But that usually works when you're down to like less than 1 milligram, like 0.5 to 0.25 milligrams. You can kind of start to spread it out like that. All right? Okay, guys, hopefully this was helpful. Little reminder for some of you, but again, talk to your doctor, see what's right for you. Whatever it is, stay clean, stay healthy, live free.